only took Craig 4 times to hit the record button this time. Yay,
So
Craig!
today's a good day is what she's saying. All right. Today we've got a great video for you. Guess what? We're going to do something totally different. We're going to do 5 tips for first-class customer service instead of our normal 708 tips because we thought it would just take a little bit too long if we did that. So let's get right into it, Nicole, and we'll start with number 5.
So number 5 is set your expectations.
Set expectations.
Stop trying to talk over me.
We said the same thing. That's crazy.
So set your expectations. If, tell your client ahead of time what you're going to do, what your job entails, and then actually follow through and do it.
I was going to say follow through and, do it too, but I didn't. She already beat me to it. And she yelled at me for talking over her, and now I'm kind of...
You should be scared.
Feelings are hurt a little bit, but whatever.
Whatever.
I'll try to power through it. All right, set expectations are good. Tell your customer what you're going to do and then do it. That's simple, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, good. Number 4.
Be the calming force.
You forgot to do this.
Well, we're switching it up. It's confusing.
Be the calming force. See, then you shouldn't talk over me.
I'm not saying anything.
I know. I know. I just forgot where I was going to go with that. All right, anyway, be the calming force. Sometimes, a lot of times buyers and sellers get stressed out in a transaction. I believe it's our responsibility to try to de-stress the situation as best as possible.
Yeah.
Sometimes there are real stressful things. You might have a buyer that loses their job and the deal is going to fall apart, and that's something that obviously is going to be a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah,
a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I just think
whatever. It's gonna be difficult.
That there's a lot of emotion in a real estate transaction. There's emotion from you. There's emotion from the client, and your job is to help keep that emotion level down and try to keep them grounded. There's so much stress with them. It's the biggest purchase that they're gonna make, in probably in the next 5 to 10 years. And, they don't know what we do about real estate transactions. So they have their own job that they have to do with moving, lending, all that stuff. And they need you to help kind of keep them on track and keep them grounded.
Yeah, I think that's an important thing. Like if you go to a restaurant, order a steak or something like that, the chef doesn't come out. He's like, oh gosh, I gotta make sure I gotta get the butter just right. Then I gotta throw it in the pan when it's hot. And then I gotta put butter on. I gotta flip it over. I gotta get char marks. And like they don't come out and tell you that. So I think that's a good professional realtor helps minimize the client's exposure to drama.
Yeah, I agree. Yep.
So, okay, which one are we on? Number 3? Number 3, this one is more of this is like a minimum expectations type thing. You by license law, I think in all states, but I know at least in Indiana it's like this, you have to give your client copies of all the documents that they're going to be asked to, that they sign.
Yeah.
So that's a simple thing. And we hear complaints occasionally that, well, I never even got copies of my contract. I never got copies of the purchase agreement. I never got copies of the contract.
Yep.
It's the easiest thing right now with being like, what is it, paperless.
Yeah.
You can email stuff, but even if your client wants it old school and they say, hey, I want it on paper.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with printing everything out and giving it to a client. Some clients just prefer it that way because they just want a copy. But, a DocuSign and everything, everybody should be getting copies of everything, but sometimes clients just don't realize it. And then sometimes they're asking because the lender's asking them for some document. Take that, send it to the client, copy the lender, so it's all done for them, so it's an extra step that they don't have to do.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Good customer service.
It's first class.
Yeah, right.
First class customer service, the best. Okay, number 2, when you're texting, learn how to emote. I think she did this for me because I don't know. I just text like nice, okay.
That's true.
Yeah.
So the thing is, you can't do, my rule is your text sentence has to be over 3 words. Like, you cannot do something where it's like, hey, thanks. If you haven't met a client before or it's a new client that you're building a relationship with, you want to act excited and personal to that client. Think of your texting as a conversation. People do long paragraph texts now because they don't want to be on the phone and they don't have time to do it. But in that, you need to show your emotion, exclamation points, smiley faces, things like that. And sometimes I don't even use the emojis. I actually just use old school style, like colon, parenthesis, that kind of thing, which I think is kind of fun. So, but, hey, looking forward to meeting you tomorrow, things like that. That's the emotion that you need to put in those texts, not just like, great, appointment set, Bye.
And do yourself a favor, if you do the text to talk or whatever, you know, or talk to text or whatever, read those before you send them.
Yes.
It's
please.
so weird. I get these sometimes, and it's like I feel like an old like Egyptian explorer, you know, trying to decipher hieroglyphics. You know, like yeah.
Hey, you talked over me. It's my turn. Anyway.
All right. Anyway, so that's a good one. Okay, number one, our last and best tip of the day here is going to be stay in touch with your customers. Just stay in touch with them.
Communicate how they want you to too. There are some people who, like I interviewed a new agent the other day, and she was saying that she had a client that just only wanted text, and she was like, "Stop! You know, we cannot call." And the client got mad because one of the sales agents did call. And
how dare they?
They want text. You know, they want text or they want email, however they prefer, because that's going to be their best method to get a hold of you.
I would say too, if let's say if you're going to do let's say you update your sellers every week, which we recommend. Let's say they do want to be contacted by text or something like that, but let's say you're busy and you only do that like by phone while you're driving or something like that. You might, and then it goes back to our fifth tip, which was set expectations. You might tell them, hey, every Friday at around lunchtime, I'm going to call you and give you an update on what's going on with your listing. What are we going to do to get your home sold? Stuff like that. So I think if you set that expectation up in the beginning, that's fine. And if you both agree to that, then I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think, our job, we talk about communication a lot. We are the hub of communication. And the more you communicate, the better your customer service is going to be. And that's just hands down.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Those are some 5 great tips. What do you think?
I think so.
All right.
I think that was a good one.
All right, guys. Thanks for
Okay.
watching and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks. See you next week.